Hello everyone and welcome to Video Coding Seminar 1. We are here at the student Jimi Hendrix home directory and we go into the summer semester 2022 seminars, and there is the working directory Video Coding Seminars. So this is how Jimi Hendrix set up his environment. Here is the Exchange folder that was also configured. So Jimi Hendrix will go inside this folder in the terminal. Then Jimi Hendrix will activate his video coding seminars Conda environment, where he has all the configurations and libraries that he's going to use. Then he starts Jupyter Notebook inside this folder. So have in mind that at the moment we have just the NBGrader configuration file and Seminar 0 that we explained earlier. So we start Jupyter Notebook. So we have our Jupyter Notebook. We can go to assignments. Then there is a release assignment, which is Seminar 1. So student Jimi Hendrix will fetch. So it downloaded this assignment. So now here we have Seminar 1. Then student Jimi Hendrix will open the seminar. Okay. And here we are at Seminar 1. It's your first real task. So in Seminar 1, what we are going to do is to convert a video to either the R, G, or B channel. So you will take the video file videorec.mp4 that's in the directory we'll use as an input. Then we will have a function and you leave only the component red, green, or blue, and you can refer to Professor Schuler lecture 2, and you need to set the other components to 0. If we go back here to our folder inside Seminar 1, we have here the videorec.mp4, and this we are going to use as an input. You need to enter your student ID, so your matricle number, because we will decide which component you're going to use, and the other ones need to be set to 0 depending on your matricle number. So this is assignments random, so you need to run the cell to see what will produce, and then you know what you have to do. Just keep in mind that OpenCV, which is the library that we're going to use, uses the order BGR. Now this is a tip. So Jimi Hendrix goes and start running, and his student ID is Jimmy6927. Here we already see that we are importing some libraries, so make sure that you have these libraries installed in your environment, otherwise there will be an error. And make sure to use just the libraries that are imported here. If you use some different library, then when I run your assignment for grading, I'm not using your environment, I am not using your computer, so maybe there's this library that you're using is not installed on my computer, and then it will fail, your test will fail. So for now, use the libraries that are imported here. So now we are going to run the cell to get which component to leave. So your student ID Jimmy6927, and Jimmy needs to produce R and set all other components to 0. So here we have the function that we are going to use for the solution. So Professor Schuler and I already implemented this function for you, but your assignment is to insert the missing parts of the code. So your code starts here and your code should end here. Don't change these parts which is not inside this here, otherwise there will be errors, so you will break the code and it will not work. So if you leave it blank and when you run this function, it will raise a not implemented error, and then your test will fail. So first try, Jimi Hendrix didn't do anything. Then here's where there is a test for validation and submission. Jimi Hendrix tries to run, and what happens? There is a problem. First, Jimi Hendrix didn't install the library matplotlib. So what Jimi needs to do is to go to the terminal and install this library. So Jimi goes back here, goes to Files, Start New Terminal. So he activates his video coding seminars environment. He then goes conda install. Let's install from conda forge matplotlib. Let's proceed. So matplotlib is installed, and Jimi Hendrix tries again. Okay, now it imports matplotlib, but there is a problem here, and the problem is the not implemented error. So Jimi Hendrix didn't do anything. So Jimi Hendrix starts writing his solution. So he prints, this is just an example, this is not how you will solve your assignment, but Jimi Hendrix prints rock and roll. Then maybe Jimi Hendrix, he wants to use an extra cell. Okay, no problem. So a string that Jimi Hendrix defined, and it will be Woodstock, and then Jimi Hendrix will use here an F formatted string, rock and roll in a string. So Jimi Hendrix finished his solution. So don't forget to remove the raise not implemented. So Jimi Hendrix forgot to run the cell. So this is what is happening. It's printing Jimi Hendrix solution. It's very bad. So let's remove it here and leave it blank. When you run this here, it will run your function, and also it will play first the videorec.mp4, then the output.mp4, and the output is written when you run this section here, and it will create a file. So we have the video recording and we have the output. If you have your right answer, so Jimi Hendrix will have the same video but with just the red component. As Jimi Hendrix didn't do anything, when we play it back here, it starts the original video, it waits a bit, and starts the output. So Jimi went here and then he wrote his solution. Now it's he thinks it's the correct solution. Then we're going to run this. So first it will play the original video, then it will play the modified video, and you can press any key at any time if you want to quit. So let's run. Then it plays the original. Now it plays just the red channel like it was supposed to do in his assignment. Jimi can save, and now going back here in the assignments, Jimi is ready to submit. If Jimi wants, he can validate, so it will run his notebook again. It plays the original, it plays the modified. Okay, it passes all the tests. As I mentioned before, this doesn't mean that Jimi Hendrix solution is correct. It just means that it passed some preliminary tests, and other hidden tests will check for this solution. So Jimi had to produce a video with just the red component, but when he runs his solution, we have the green component. But if you validate, it passes all the tests, but the solution is wrong. So our own hidden test will check the solution to see if it is correct or not. Then Jimmy can, if he's happy with his solution, he can submit, and then it submitted here. So NB Grader is handling these files and putting on the correct folders, so it is submitted. One thing about Jupyter Notebooks, if you're not familiar, is that things stay in memory. So maybe you tried here using some different cells, and you tried a lot of things, and you put A equals to 1 and B equals to 2 and C equals to 3, and then you put here your solution here, something like A plus B plus C is equal to D, but then you change something, but you forgot to run the cell, so B is still in the previous value, or you delete this cell and then you run again, but things are still in memory, so you can restart, clear everything, then you start fresh and you have no problems with things in memory. So I hope you understand what you have to do, and I wish you success in your first seminar, and I see you next time.